Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the Potomac and Chesapeake Association for College Admission Counseling's virtual college fair. We are excited that you're here. We have a great group of colleges and presenters lined up for you this afternoon and are excited to share information that will hopefully help with your college search process. So just a few housekeeping things from me before we get started. First, your cameras and microphones are turned off, so don't worry, we can't see you or hear you. Hopefully you can see and hear us okay though. If for some reason you can't or that changes, just send us a message using that Q&A button on your Zoom toolbar and we'll be happy to help troubleshoot that with you. Speaking of the Q&A button, that is your best way to engage with our presenters this afternoon and evening. So as you have questions throughout the session, feel free to drop those in the Q&A button at any point, starting now, before they present, while they're presenting, or after. We'll be monitoring those questions throughout the whole session and are happy to answer those questions as they come in. Don't forget, there are more sessions being offered after this. So check that StriveScan website where you signed up for any additional sessions you might be interested in, as well as all of the session recordings will be posted there within about a week or so as well. So before I turn it over to our first presenter, I want to show you our schedule for this afternoon. And that is, we are right in the middle, session B2. So we will start with Hampshire College, move to Richard Bland College, Hollins University, Washington and Lee University, College of William and Mary, and then wrap things up with Vassar College and a little bit of Q&A at the end. And so with that, I will turn it over to Hampshire College to kick things off.
Hello, everybody. Let me just get my screen up. My name is Emily Bilodeau. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm coming at you from Hampshire College in Amherst, Massachusetts. Hampshire is a small private liberal arts college in Western Massachusetts with an enrollment of around 700 students. I could go on for hours and hours about everything that makes Hampshire super special and unique, but I only have 6 minutes. So I'm going to highlight the 3 things that we feel really set us apart from other institutions that are small and private and liberal arts. So the things I'm going to be highlighting are our narrative evaluations, our 5 college consortium, and the divisional system. Starting off, we have narrative evaluations. At Hampshire, faculty use long form narrative format to evaluate students instead of letter or number grades. So students will get anywhere from a paragraph to 2 pages of detailed written feedback at the end of every course. Doing so eliminates the competitiveness from the classroom, encouraging students to engage meaningfully with the material, finding motivation because they want to learn rather than just wanting to get a good grade. And having this format allows anybody who's reading your transcript, including yourself, to get a much more full picture of who you are as a student and as a scholar. Next, we have the 5 college consortium. Hampshire, along with Smith College, Amherst College, Mount Holyoke College, and University of Massachusetts Amherst, all make up the 5 college consortium. And what this means is that as a Hampshire student, you have access to the classes, clubs, resources, facilities of these other schools for no extra fee. I like to think of it as 5 colleges for the price of 1. You have access to over 6,000 courses, including graduate level courses, again, for no extra fee, 900 student groups, 15 million library volumes. There's a free bus system that allows students to travel between the campuses very easily. And it really allows a small school like Hampshire to give the small school experience, the close-knit community, the flexibility of our curriculum, but giving you access to the resources of some of these much larger institutions and this much larger network. The last main thing I will highlight is our divisional system. The divisional system is the unique curriculum at Hampshire that allows every student to design their own program of study with the help of a faculty advising committee. The div system is the structure of Hampshire. Even though you are designing your own curriculum, the divisional system, which is divided into 3 unique sections, gives you scaffolding to guide you on your way through that process. Every student's time at Hampshire culminates in a year-long independent project, the Division 3 project, which will take a different form and shape for every student, from a more traditional research paper or lab experiment to an art installation, a performance piece, a business plan, an app development, and anything in between. These projects are the embodiment of a student's passion and really allows them to dive into what it is they specifically want to be doing and what they want to be bringing into the world, and often can jumpstart a student's career after Hampshire. Recently, in a Forbes article, Hampshire was ranked number 8 among liberal arts colleges when measuring the impact of individuals who are connected with the colleges. You might recognize some faces in this collage of our change-making alumni. 60% of our students go on to receive an advanced degree within 10 years of graduating, and we are in the top 3% of students whose alumni go on to receive PhDs. 90% of our alumni report receiving job offers or starting grad school within 6 months of graduating. And 1 in 4 of our alums go on to start their own business or nonprofit. And a lot of those start as their Division III projects. It's also worth mentioning that we are on a gorgeous 800-acre campus surrounded by a 2,000-acre state park with our own working college farm. This means that we have lots of space and room for students to participate in outdoor activities, which we have lots of programming for. We are also one of the most sustainable schools in the country. We have solar fields that are capable of reaching 100% of our energy needs. And we also house 2 living buildings on our campus, including the R.W. Kern Center, which I have included a picture of right here. If you want to know more about Hampshire, more fun facts, more about how all of our dorms are singles, or about our test blind admissions policies, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I have included my email there on the screen, and I'll also put some more contact information in the chat, but I'm super excited and happy to share more about Hampshire if you want to learn more. Thank you so much for your time and for your attention this evening, and I will pass it along to the next school.
Awesome, thank you, Emily. Okay, next up, we are going to Richard Bland College.
All right, thank you so much. Hi guys, my name is Jessica Carver. I am one of the admissions counselors at Richard Bland College. Let me just pull up my presentation here. All right, so Richard Bland is the only residential selective 2-year college in the state of Virginia. So basically what we do is we take aspects of both the 2-year community college system and the 4-year system and kind of blend them together into this unique experience for our students. We are located in South Prince George, Virginia, which is just about 30 minutes outside of the city of Richmond. We are also actually on a beautiful 750-acre, really scenic campus. We're also really close to a bunch of other colleges. Virginia State University is only about 12 minutes from our campus, and then you have VCU, University of Richmond, Virginia Union, all right there in Richmond. So it's a really, really nice location. Just a little bit more about Richard Bland. So we are a daughter school of William and Mary. So that means that we do a couple of really cool things with William and Mary, including a bridge program wherein our students as freshmen and sophomores actually get to take classes on William and Mary's campus. We shuttle groups of students over on Tuesdays and Thursdays of each week, and they get to take classes on William and Mary's campus with Richard Bland tuition costs. So our goal for students is ideally to come and do 2 years with us at Richard Bland, and then to take advantage of one of our guaranteed transfer agreements and to transfer to one of our 4-year transfer partners. We do obviously partner with William and Mary along with every other public institution in the state other than VMI, as well as a pretty long list of private institutions. And here are just a couple of those. These are kind of just some of our more popular ones, although this does change pretty frequently dependent on the year and depending on student interest. Our transfer agreements are going to work pretty similarly to how they work at your local community college, where they're guaranteed transfer with junior status as long as you meet the requirements outlined in the agreement. We have a different agreement with each school. So if you were trying to transfer to William and Mary from us, it would be a 3.25 GPA requirement and certain prerequisite courses that you have to have. Whereas if you're trying to transfer into VCU from us, it's only a 2.5 GPA requirement and certain prereqs that you have to have. So it does vary a lot school to school. So it really depends on where you want to go and what you want to study. But we do have some awesome student supports in place to make sure that our students can take advantage of whatever agreements they want to at the end of their time with us. Students do have academic advisors on campus that we refer to as learner mentors. These are basically their academic advisors and transfer and career counselors while they're with us. Ideally, this is the same person throughout your 2 years at Richard Bland. So they do help build semesterly course schedules, but they also have weekly access to attendance and grades so they can keep really good track of students and make sure that they are on track to be able to take advantage of whatever agreement they want to at the end of their time with us. Like your average four-year university, we also offer housing on campus. And for me personally, I think one of the biggest reasons I didn't consider community college when I was graduating from high school was because, as much as I love my family, I was ready for that sense of independence, ready to get out of the house. And I had no idea that such a thing as a two-year community college existed, two-year residential college existed, excuse me. I think if I had known that, that would have been something that I took into a lot more consideration. Our dormitories are some of the nicest in the state, and I do have a super quick video I think we have time for. It's only about a minute long. If you guys can't hear anything, it's just music playing, so you're not missing anything, but I know the sound sometimes doesn't come through. All right, so just to give you guys a feel for what those dormitories look like. So the application itself is very simple. You can complete it on our website, which is rbc.edu, or we're also available on the Common App. It is probably one of the easiest college applications that you'll complete. It takes really about 10 minutes, and the only thing that we require in order to review it is a copy of your high school transcript. This can be sent officially or unofficially. We do send students a link where you can upload your unofficial transcript right to us, which allows us to get your admissions decision to you very quickly. We are a test optional school, so SAT or ACT scores, we don't require them. If you have them and want to send them, not great, but they're not going to impact our admissions decision. Our required GPA, or our preferred GPA, I should say, for standard admission into the school is a 2.5, but we do consider students anywhere from a 2.0 and higher. We do also have a really large number of merit-based scholarships available, and about 77% of our students do receive some sort of financial aid or scholarship money. Last thing I think on here is just how to connect with us. There's one thing I can recommend to our students is any college you're interested in, follow them on social media. That's how we connect with prospective students and get important dates out there. So definitely give us a follow. And thank you so much. I will go ahead and pass it over to the next school.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica.
Yes.
Okay, next up, we're going to Hollins University.
Hi all. So while I am attempting to share my screen, I just wanted to also introduce myself. My name is Chelsea DeTorres, and in addition to working at Hollins, I am also an alum, which I always think helps me give a little bit credibility to everything I'm about to share with you. So welcome to Hollins's presentation. We are a school located in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains in a place called Roanoke, which is this small but vibrant community with a thriving downtown and countless outdoor recreation opportunities in the mountains or the river. Campus is a 15-minute drive from shops, restaurants, the airport, downtown, the mall, some historic places. And with all these things to do, we're also located kind of surrounded by more metropolitan areas such as DC, Richmond, or Charlotte. All of these are involved with our campus in that we offer day trips out to them for our students, as well as internships where those areas then become home for a little bit. A couple of quick facts about Hollins. We were founded in 1842 and are the oldest women's college in Virginia. We're currently home to about 800 students on campus, and we encourage them to explore their own unique interests throughout the liberal arts curriculum. We have 29 different majors to choose from, as well as 30 minors. We have an average class size of 11, which allows you to become truly supported by close relationships with your professors and your advisors throughout your experience. In addition to academics, we have a thriving D3 athletics program, including an equestrian team that competes in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. If anyone's interested in more about learning about our teams or recruiting strategies, we have a dedicated website that I'll pop into the chat at the end of this. At Hollins, we are all about making sure you have the opportunity to be a part of something. We have almost 30 clubs and student-run organizations, and we encourage you to create your own if you don't find something that interests you. For instance, in this last year, my favorite new addition to campus was a mariachi band that specializes in surprise. So you may be walking across campus and suddenly there's mariachi music. In order to make your own club, all you need is the ability to write your club constitution, some members, and the willingness to go to our weekly Senate meeting and present your case. It's fairly easy to start a club. I did while I was here, and it's still running to this day, which is a really big point of pride for me. It's called the Cyber Griffin, if anyone's interested, and it is a literary magazine. However, we find that all of these clubs and organizations enable students to find peers with like-minded interests or backgrounds or identities, and gives you access to leadership opportunities and event planning roles, as all clubs and organizations are required to interact with our campus community while they exist. At Hollins, our student government is the next biggest part of us. It is a vital part of our community. In fact, all of our undergraduates are immediately part of the Student Government Association, and you are allowed to come to the weekly Senate meetings and vote on anything that comes up. We have over 80 elected positions with varying levels of responsibility that can give you your first taste of what it means to be a leader. We invite students with a variety of interests, talents, backgrounds, goals to join our executive, judicial, and event planning boards. And a hallmark of this experience is when you come to our weekly Senate meetings, it is a student-run meeting, and you're going to review current events, make announcements, discuss student concerns with your peers, as well as the faculty and staff who will be joining you for that meeting. In addition to academics, athletics, and activities, we encourage students to take your learning beyond the classroom with experiential learning opportunities. In fact, we have a dedicated center, the Rutherford Center, who ensures all students have access to hands-on learning through study abroad, individual research, internships, leadership activities, community engagement. 91% of our students do some form of this hands-on opportunity, and we guarantee that this is available for any interested student. So here are just a few ways that Hollins stands out among other colleges and universities nationwide. So it's hard for me to define a typical Hollins student because so many of them come in with different passions and different things that they care about. And I think that's what's actually the typical Hollins student, is someone who has this great passion for something and wants to make it known to others and the world and themselves. And that's really what binds us together. If any of this has started to sound a little bit interesting to you, I really encourage you to apply. We have no application fee. You can do it through the Common app or the Hollins app directly on our website. After that, we do require a copy of your transcripts and either a secondary school report or letter of recommendation. We are also test optional, meaning we put a lot of consideration into your application. And if you don't send us test scores, this does not in any way mean you're not eligible for scholarships or application consideration. We are very holistic. We look at your extracurriculars, your letter of recommendation, and even your demonstrated interest in Hollins. We really want to get to know you as a person. So we have 3 different application types and deadlines. The November 1st is an early decision binding application. But if you're still considering other options, but you just want an early answer, I really recommend the early action non-binding agreement, because that means you get to know really fast as early as the end of November, because we typically do a 2-week turnaround for getting you an answer. This allows you to have a lot of time when you're making a decision, when you're looking at colleges, and enables you to feel really confident in finding your best fit for a college. We're also committed to affordability and making this high quality liberal arts education accessible. This means we guarantee at least $24,000 per year in grants and scholarships for all admitted students. And our average aid award this past year was just under $37,000. I hope this information has been helpful in making Holland sound appealing, or at least giving you a little bit of information about it. We'd love to welcome you to campus. We are doing private visits. We have some great contact information on here, including Instagram. We're working on Snapchat, so stay tuned. And I hope I can answer a couple of questions in the comments. Thank you.
Thanks, Chelsea. Okay, next up, we're going to Washington and Lee University.
Good evening, friends. How are you? Thank you so much for making the time to join us this evening. I know it's a big investment of time and energy, and it's been a really long weekend. So I'm really grateful for y'all's time. So Washington and Lee, if you are not familiar with us, we are located here in Lexington, Virginia. If you are not familiar with Lexington, Virginia, we are right in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Allegheny Mountains, right off of 81, nestled in between Roanoke and Charlottesville, excuse me, and very accessible to all sorts of different areas. We're only about 2 hours from Richmond, about 3 hours from DC, and we really benefit from being in the city of Lexington, which is a very quaint Main Street USA city, while also being in practically a nature sanctuary. It is a beautiful, beautiful campus where you can enjoy both being able to walk downtown in 5 minutes and get your favorite latte, and then go 10 minutes in the other direction and be out in nature and be out on trails and hiking and doing that sort of thing. We're all throwing a lot of information at you all, and I'm sure by this point, some of the things I'm going to say are going to sound very similar to some of my other colleagues who are here with us this evening. So thank you for bearing with us. But some facts and stats about Washington and Lee and why you might be thinking about potentially visiting us or enrolling. We are the 9th oldest institution in the United States, and with that means that we have a really long history, and we're really excited about where we're going and all the different ways that we're able to serve a variety of students. We are a smaller liberal arts and science institution, serving about a little over 1,800 undergraduates. We do have a graduate program with our law school, but that is our only graduate program. We also, even though we're small, I like to say that we're mighty, in that we offer over 73 different majors and minors, including curriculum that is embedded in engineering, journalism, and our Williams School of Commerce. And the Williams School of Commerce and our journalism program are accredited. 100% of our courses are taught by faculty, so that's really important to us that you are engaging with the experts in your field. And class sizes are intentionally small, with an 8-to-1 student faculty ratio, which translates into an average class size of about 15. We also are a D3 institution and serve 24 different teams and are part of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. And you can see some of the other stats and facts here, but I think they're important to mention. About 60% of the class of 2019 study abroad. That's really important to us. And we have been able to have students study abroad in 2021, which we're really excited about. We have over 170 clubs and organizations with the opportunity to start your own if you'd like. And I think some of the biggest things is the return on investment. 93% of our students 6 months after graduation are employed or going off into graduate school, and 100% of our need, we meet demonstrated need, which is important. All of this information regarding dates and deadlines are on our website. If you take one thing away from us this evening, for me, it's the Johnson Scholarship deadline. And the Johnson Scholarship has its own separate deadline that you do have to meet in order to be considered for scholarship. So that December 1st deadline is very important. And I think it's also important to note that we will continue to be test optional for this upcoming iteration of the application process. But the other part, like I mentioned, 100% of demonstrated need is met without the use of loans, meaning that we want to make sure that the cost of coming to W&L is not prohibitive for you and your family. And we offer the W&L Promise, which is helping to pay tuition for families who really need that. And you can see some of the average need-based awards, and over 51% of our students are receiving some sort of financial aid. But the Johnson Scholarship Program, it's about 10% of our incoming class, and it is a full academic ride to the institution. It is a scholarship competition, so you do need to have your application in by December 1st. And after a thorough review, if you are selected as a finalist, we will be bringing you to campus to compete for that scholarship program. If all of this is sounding interesting to you and you want to get a chance to know us more, I do encourage you to go to our website. If you have specific questions, I'll make sure to pop my name in the chat with my contact information. I am the rep for Virginia, so if you are residing in Virginia, I am your person and would be delighted to engage with you. It's also of note that we'll be opening up for tours soon for students. So we will be having student-led tours starting July 1st and going through August, and we are hopeful that we'll be able to continue those into the fall. Again, I know that you're having a lot of information thrown at you all this evening. If there's any ways that we can be helpful, please let us know. I think all of us who are here on the call tonight do this work because we love working with students. And if there's anything that this year has taught us, it's that you all are the most important part of this process. So thank you so much for your time, interest in our institutions, and we're looking forward to engaging with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Grace. Okay, and next up, we are going to the College of William and Mary.
Great. All right. All right, so can you all see the slideshow? Great. Okay, awesome. Hi, my name is Logan Reed. I am an assistant dean of admission at William and Mary, and I'm here to talk about William and Mary. And so William and Mary, really in one sentence, it is an academically rigorous institution that will challenge you to think critically and to grow as a person and a student. And so you'll be very much so challenged on our campus as an academically rigorous environment. We'll be very much so supported on our campus as well. That is the Wren building right there. That is the oldest academic building still in use today in the United States. So there's definitely a lot of history behind William and Mary. On the other side of that building, there are literally bullet holes from the Civil War, which I think is pretty neat. But we're always saying that we're looking to make history in the present and working towards that. So just some general things about William and Mary. If you look on the bottom right, kind of where our location is, because that's an easy thing to differentiate a university. And we're located in Williamsburg, Virginia. And so as you can see, it's in the southeastern part of Virginia, also known as the Tidewater region. So we're about an hour away from, good chat. Okay, great. So we're located about an hour away from Virginia Beach and about an hour away from Richmond, which is the capital of Virginia, and about 2.5 hours away from Washington, D.C. We actually have a campus in Washington, D.C. So if you wanted to stay there for a summer or for a semester, you can actually do that and live there in the heart of D.C., which I think is just a really unique, really interesting opportunity to have. But we're really an undergraduate focused university. As you can see, we have just over 6,300 undergraduate students and just over 2,400 graduate level students. So we are a true mid-sized institution, which, as you can see, as you look at amongst the thousands of colleges out there, you'll see that there's really small institutions and really large ones. And, you know, all of those have their strengths, but I like to say that we're kind of a good middle ground if you're looking for that, if that works for you. And we have students coming from all 50 states. Sorry, I'm messing over my words over here, in 60 different foreign countries. So we have students coming from all across the world and all across the country. So if you feel like you're going to come to William and Mary and you're afraid that you're not going to know anyone else, we do a really good job of intentionally cultivating a community right from when you come to campus. Now, there's 4 main things I'm going to talk about really quickly about William and Mary, because I know we're limited on time. 4 main things. One is research. We have a ton of research opportunities at William and Mary. As you can see, 80% of our undergraduate students complete some sort of mentored research, with just over a quarter of our students being on a published academic paper before they even graduate. So if you're looking to do some sort of research, whether it be in our very strong STEM programs or just across the field of different majors that we have around 89 or 90 different majors and minors available to you. There is some type of research available for you, or you're encouraged to start it with a faculty member. So you definitely have that opportunity at William & Mary. You don't have to go to a large research institution to get that. You can get that on our campus. Number 2 is study abroad. And I know that every university has some sort of great study abroad programs, but we really do put a lot of investment into our study abroad programs at William & Mary. As you can see, we're the #1 public university in the nation for undergraduate study abroad participation. We have about $500,000 set aside for study abroad scholarships, because we understand that when people see study abroad, sometimes they discount themselves because of the cost of it. And we try to enable them to get it partially, if not fully funded, for their study abroad experience. And if we don't have a program that goes somewhere that you're interested in going, then we'll work with you to help make that happen. Number 3 is the flexibility in our curriculum. Every student that comes to William & Mary comes in undeclared, because higher education is a huge investment. And I think it's something to take serious and to try out different areas of interest to better understand what you want to major in and ultimately what you want to pursue a career into. So the fact that every William & Mary student comes in undeclared and has 2 years before they're required to declare a major is just a great flexibility to have, to take a breath of fresh air and to try to take different classes to really understand what you want to pursue, ultimately what you want to pursue a career into. Also, 1/3 of the credits that are required to graduate at William & Mary are dedicated to electives. So you're able to have that flexibility as well in that elective credits, or you can use those elective credits to double major. If you're really interested in 2 very different things, you can double major. And so there's that great flexibility. And as you can see, we've got a great average class size of 25 to 35 students. It's about just over 50% of our classes have 20 or fewer students. Sorry, I know I'm sending a lot of information quickly. And so number 4 is just our community. We have such a warm, supportive, and collaborative community at William & Mary. We have nearly 500 student-run clubs and organizations. We have D1 sports, club teams, intramural teams, all different types of things happening on our campus. Students love to be on our campus. We've got about 75% of our students living on campus, and students who go off campus tend to go right next to campus and just walk to campus. So there's definitely a great campus energy and vibe. There's also a lot of stuff to do around town. So there's William & Mary located in Williamsburg. We got Colonial Williamsburg right next door, Busch Gardens Amusement Park, the outlet malls. There's just a lot of stuff to do in the area and a lot of nature as well. And so here are just some general facts and figures. We will be test optional this upcoming admission cycle. Also, you all should know that we will be setting up some sort of modified in-person tours around mid-summer. So be sure to check out our website. We'll send updates and everything once we decide and solidify those plans. So yeah, we do have virtual visit opportunities as well. And yeah, so that is my time. My watch just told me I'm out of time. So thank you so much for your time. And if you're interested, please contact me. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions now or later.
Awesome. Thank you, Logan. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we are going to Vassar College.
All right, thank you so much. I'm gonna make sure I share my screen here so you can see that. And good evening, everyone. My name is Xue Yan, Assistant Director of Admission from Vassar College. Happy to share a little bit about Vassar with you all today. So Vassar College, as you can see here, we have a 1,000-acre campus, and it is not spread out through town. So it's very easy for students to walk from their dorms and to their classroom to their next activity, and lots of really historical buildings on campus, and it's really pretty to be on campus. And what you can probably don't really see here is that we also have a 415-acre farm ecological preserve. It's a great place for students to do research or just to do a little bit of for their interest for sustainability as well. We have about 2,500 students in total from all 50 states and 60 countries around the world. 35% of our students self-identify as students of color, 15% of our students are first-generation college students, and about 10% are international students. Academically, Vassar offers an open curriculum, which means that there are no core classes or general education requirements for students. As you can see here on the chart, there are 32 units required for students to graduate from Vassar, and only 3 classes are required for all students, which only take about 2 to 4 units. There are first writing seminar, 1 quantitative course, which doesn't have to be a hard science if you're not a science person, and language proficiency, which can be tested out as well. And major requirements usually takes up to 11.5 units. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to do a double major if that's something you're interested in, or do a second minor, or just to try and explore all the courses that we offer here at Vassar. There are 51 majors in total and 67 correlates or minors, as we call them, at Vassar. And if you are interested in the area of public health or engineering, we also offer 5-year degree programs with Columbia University for a Master's of Public Health degree, and for Dartmouth for a Bachelor of Engineering for engineering as well. Research internship is very important, and overall about 85% of our students has at least one internship or fieldwork experience before graduation. For the class of 2019, that number was 90%. So it's super common and easy for students to have internship and research experience before graduation. And if you're interested in studying abroad, we have over 130 study abroad programs in 60 countries around the world, and about 45% of our students do engage in study abroad program here. So certainly a lot of opportunities for research and exploring around the world. Vassar offers a residential campus, which means most of our students live on campus. As you can see here, 97% of our students live on campus, and the housing at Vassar is inclusive, which means there is no theme housing or special interest housing. We want our freshmen to get to know the seniors. We want everyone to get to know each other, even though you have different academic interests in college. We truly want to build a community here at Vassar. Lots of clubs and organizations. We are Division 3 as well. About 20% of our students are engaged in a varsity team on campus, and lots of things for you to do. A cappella groups, choirs, jazz, music, dance. Really, there's so much to do. You will be very busy on campus. We are located in Poughkeepsie, New York, which is about 1 hour and 30 minutes away from New York City and the state capital, Albany. And it is not a tiny place. About 30,000 people are in the area. There are big box stores and local shops, lots of popular art scene and food options, and many great outdoor activities as well. Certainly hiking trails, canoeing, lots to do. After graduation, about 95% of our students are either employed, going to graduate school, or part of a fellowship or service program. And if you're interested in law school or going to medical school, the acceptance rate is also very high for our students. And we do provide lots of support from Career Development Office throughout 4 years of your time at Vassar. And we do also keep in touch after graduation as well. So if you're thinking about change of career in the future, the Career Development Office will be there to support you as well. Application, here is the list of deadlines and application requirements and materials needed. I just want to note that we are test optional for the upcoming 2 admission cycle. So if you are a rising senior, if you're thinking about applying, you do not have to submit your SAT or ACT score. Financial aid, we meet 100% of full demonstrated financial need for all admitted students for all 4 years. And about 70% of our students receive financial aid from Vassar. And we do not offer any scholarship. All the students are amazing. They are academically really strong, and we only offer financial aid based on your financial need. And last but not least, here is the website for admissions office, and you can also email financial aid as well for any questions. And Ask a Student at vassar.edu is a great place for you to connect with the current students. So if there's any specific question about one specific major or one special interest you have, certainly email askastudent@vassar.edu. You can have that conversation with the current students. And of course, connect with me too if you have any questions. I'll put my email in the chat later, and do stay in touch. And that's a little bit about Vassar College.
Great, thank you for sharing. Okay, well, that wraps up our formal presentations, but we have a few extra minutes to do some Q&A here at the end. So I'm going to ask our panelists if you want to turn your videos back on and join me on screen. Students, if you have any questions for these panelists or colleges, now would be a great time to drop those in Q&A, and we can use the last few minutes to get responses to you. But in the meantime, I'm going to share my screen and ask a few questions. And so the first one is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we will go in the same order we started in.
I love this question. I would say my biggest piece of advice is not to be afraid of admissions counselors. I think that often students might be afraid of making connections, but we are really there to help you. The biggest part of our job is often being an advocate for you. So don't be afraid of us. Don't be afraid to reach out. We aren't scary. just come talk.
I just want to second everything Emily just said. For sure, we are there to be advocates for the students. I would also encourage you to get on campus, any college that you're interested in, if possible. I know things have been a little bit tough with COVID. Hopefully things are kind of getting back to normal or close to getting back to normal. But if you can, get in person on campus. Each college is, or each student is really going to require a different fit, and each college is going to have a different fit for each student. So if you can, get in person and visit, and always stop by the admissions office and say hi while you're there.
I would add that this process is all about you. Where are you going to be happy? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? And those are questions only you can answer. So since those are the ones you can answer, ask us all the rest. Ask us 1,000 questions. Ask us anything on your mind. What you want to be happy when you're at college and when you are preparing for your career or whatever comes after college. Ask whatever's on your mind and don't stop until you get the answers that you're looking for of things that will make you happy down the road.
This is all just fantastic advice. I would say for me, it's be yourself. If you know exactly what you want to do with your life, be asking us those questions and let us know that you know exactly what you want to do. If you have no idea what you want to be when you grow up, that is totally fine. I don't either. And so just lean into that. This process is 100% about you. And it's also terrifying, and we're still in a global pandemic, and there's a lot going on. And so be yourself in this process, no matter who you are or where you come from. We are here, like I said earlier, because we love working with students. I've been doing this. My career will turn a senior this year. And I do it because I love working with you. And I know everybody on the screen loves working with you, and you're going to find a place that is the right fit for you. And just be yourself. We're so excited to get to know you.
Yeah, I mean, all this advice is great. I would say 2 quick things. One, just give yourself some grace in this application process, because we know no student is perfect, and try to not fall into the comparison kind of pit of just stressing out about not doing this that another student's doing or whatnot. And then also don't be afraid to reach out to us, but also current students, because they're living it. They see the experience and they know what it's like. So feel free. I know most universities have some sort of way to get in contact with current students and talk with them. So I'd encourage you to do that as well, to see what their experience is like.
Those are all wonderful advice. I'll just add one thing, that don't stress out. I know it's easier said than done. It's really easy to stress out, especially I think last year, a lot of students emailed me saying, I had this wonderful opportunity, but it's got canceled because of COVID. I can't do so-and-so. Don't stress out. You will be great. You'll be fine. And again, you have our back. We are here to support you. We're here to help you along the way. So certainly don't stress out and reach out to us.
Some great advice. I think we have time for one more question, and that is, what is your favorite event or tradition on your campus?
My favorite event and tradition is we have what's called the div-free bell. At Hampshire, when you graduate, you're considered div-free. So when you finish your year-long project, your senior thesis, everybody rings this bell on campus. And you can hear it throughout the entire campus, and it's just the sweetest sound that you'll hear all throughout the spring whenever a student completes their work.
Here at Richard Bland, I would say probably my favorite event on campus is our annual Pecan Festival. Fun fact, we do have the largest pecan groves in the state, so we have a huge festival that draws like 8,000 people to campus every year, which is kind of wild because we only have 1,000 students that actually come to campus every day for class, so it's always a fun one.
So we have a tradition in the fall. Nobody knows when it happens. It's just a mystery that you wake up and suddenly it's Tinker Day. And what that means is classes are canceled. You get dressed up in crazy outfits. We feed you donuts on front quad, and then everybody climbs a giant mountain together. In these crazy outfits, the faculty and staff do skits for you at the top, and you eat fried chicken and more cake. And then everyone walks back down the mountain and takes kind of a collective campus nap. Or if you're like me and you don't want to climb a mountain all 4 years, you can always just take a nap one of those days and just do nothing. It's just a wonderful surprise to wake up to in October once you've been here for a bit.
Ours is not that quirky, which I love. My women's college was absolutely had lots of that too. My favorite tradition here at WNL is our speaking tradition. So when you're walking across campus, people say hello. I'm originally from Massachusetts, and so I got a little weirded out when I first started working here because I didn't understand why people were talking to me. But you're walking across the people, oh, hi, how you doing? Hey, how's it going? Hi. And it's gotten even more intense during the pandemic because with masks, you can't just smile and nod. You have to actively say hello. And so it really helps us as a community get to know one another. It helps create this friendly environment on campus and in town. And it can even make someone who's a little bit cynical about this tradition really love it. I do it everywhere now, whether we're on campus or not.
Yeah, my favorite tradition would be convocation. And it's after all the freshmen just finished their first day of classes, they come together, listen to some speakers, and they go through the Wren building to the Sutton Garden, which is kind of like our quad. And they get met by the whole student body, just cheering them on, high-fiving them, and just welcoming them to campus. Usually there's people with signs that say, "You belong here." So it really just welcomes the students to campus and shows that they're a part of this community now. Of course, it was virtual recently, but hopefully it'll be in person soon.
My favorite tradition at Vassar is probably Founders Day, which actually was yesterday on campus. So it's really fun. It's a great day of celebration of our founder, Matthew Vassar's birthday. And it's a whole campus carnival. Every year there's a theme. This year the theme is, I believe, plants and fungi. So you all get to dress up. You can see a lot of like green themed dresses and leaves around people's hair. So it's really fun to all come together, have fireworks in the evening and food and just a lot of fun, bring everybody together.
Great events and traditions. I am excited for all these students and wish I could come participate too. But students, thank you all so much for joining us. We are out of time. When you close this window, there will be a very quick 4-question survey. If you don't mind completing that, we would really appreciate any feedback that you have. And then don't forget, we're offering more sessions right after this. So check that StriveScan website where you signed up for any additional sessions you might be interested in, as well as all the session recordings will be posted there within about a week or so as well. So thank you again for being here. Have a great evening, and we will see you in the next session.